But I did a lot of research online. I was researching every single day. Another thing you learn as well when you go and view properties is that everyone there is sort of competing for that property. I've always had a vision of like what I want my home to look like, and I know no one's gonna have that. So I knew I wanted to renovate it.
Let's just talk a bit about the search. So you've sorted out your finances, you've done your research, you looked into different areas, and you pinpointed an area that matched your budget with your space requirements and commutability and that kind of thing. How did the search go? Did you find people helpful? Was it difficult? Did you look at loads of different stuff, or?
Well, when you sort of like show interest in a property, you get a lot of estate agents ringing you every day, and also you've got to be careful about how many lease years it has. Like, so I had to educate myself on if it has a certain amount of lease years, if it's worth it, about the boiler.
Did you have anyone helping?
I have a friend that has a lot of property, and some of my family do too, but they do commercial property, so they weren't really able to help. But I did a lot of research online. I was researching every single day, like militantly, and the only thing on my mind was buying a home, so I literally like learned everything. Back then though, there wasn't as many YouTube videos about property in the UK, I've got to say, because that would have been helpful.
Okay, well that's good to know. We're doing the right thing. Grace.
Back then there wasn't.
I mean, it is such a big thing in someone's life. You know, I describe it as your first piece of England. You just bought a piece of England, and it's home, and you've gone to work for many years, and you've saved up a deposit, and that's your piece of England. It's your front door. That's very, very special. Yeah. Tell me about the house, the flat that you found and liked. Why did you like it?
Well, when I started looking initially, my friends were like, "Oh, you should buy a 2-bed flat, so then you could even rent out the other room." But that sounds great, but buying a 2-bed flat is a lot more expensive than a 1-bed flat, and I don't plan to have kids anytime soon at that point, and I just thought, I'll buy a 1-bed, and a lot of the
it's a first home, it's not a forever home, is it?
Exactly. I just wanted to get my foot on the property ladder, and I knew that equity would grow, etc. But a lot of the properties I went to view, the kitchen and living room were combined. I think that was like the new fashion. That's the new fashion at the moment, I think. But they were really small. And my home has actually got quite big rooms compared to what I've seen. And so I was just like happy that it was livable. I could do my dinner parties.
Did you know as soon as you walked in the door then?
I knew when I was outside that I wanted to buy my home.
Why?
I have a feeling.
Is it old?
I'm very in tune.
Okay. Is it old? Is it new?
It was made in 1995.
Okay.
So it's not that old. Yeah. But it was like, it's a private built, and it's only 2 floors. Okay. 6 flats.
Yeah.
So
nice small block.
And it has a loft.
Okay.
And but when I went inside, it was awful though. It was like everything in there, you couldn't live in there. And there was people living in there, but it was really bad. And everyone that went to view it, they were like, "Oh my God, it was awful." Okay. But I liked that because that means they weren't going to put a bid in.
Yes. And you could see through what was there. It sounds though you tackled it just brilliantly. So having defined the area and gone out and seen 9 properties, you were therefore getting a good sense of value for money and what was realistic and what wasn't. But to stand outside, I often say that people do make their minds up within the first 10 seconds of arriving at a property. And I mean, the story you've just told absolutely kind of gives that credibility. But also, as a first-time buyer, to go in and look past
that's
all of the bits and pieces and the flaking paint and the clutter everywhere is it's
because I knew I wanted to renovate it completely. And funnily enough, I went to view a property straight afterwards. That was the place it was a bit further away from the station. That's another thing. I needed it to be near the station. The kitchen, everything was nice. And I thought, I don't want to take out a nice kitchen and put the kitchen I want in. I don't feel right doing that. And I still prefer the other one. And another thing you learn as well when you go and view properties is that everyone there is sort of competing for that property.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was like sort of talking to people and being like, really, oh yeah, I might. You shouldn't ever give your cards away when looking at property, I think. You just need to act like you're not really that interested in it.
It's a really interesting one because the estate agents are trained, you know, they're in sales.
Yeah.
They don't care who they sell it to, they just want to sell it quickly for lots of money. And if you start jumping up and down looking all excited and telling them that, you know, how much you love it, then at the end of the day that's going to stand against you.
Yeah.
I think negotiations in property start a lot earlier than most people give them credit for.
I started finding things that was wrong with it. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a bit of damp on the walls.
Yeah.
There's a crack there. So although you want the property, you just got to find what's wrong with it to negotiate lower.
Was there competition for your property?
I believe so, but I don't know. I don't believe there was a lot of competition because I think the people that were renting it just wanted everyone not to buy it because they left everything out. It was like they didn't want anyone to live there.
What was it up for, and what did you pay for it?
It was up for 200, but I paid 195.
Yeah.
But then I had to pay 5k for external works.
Right. So
within 2 months of living there.
Did you know that was coming?
Yeah, but they said it would be like 3,000 to 4,000. And then bear in mind I had to renovate my home, pay external works, pay for the windows as well.
Were you looking at old properties, new properties? What was in your mind?
I had in my mind an older property because I like the brickwork. I always like to see bricks at the outside of my house. So yeah, I preferred to have a older property.
You weren't tempted by the government schemes and Help to Buy and that kind of thing?
I did call a few actually. I think when I discovered how much I needed to save, I thought that's impossible, how am I going to save that? And then I didn't find them helpful because they had to be in a certain area. I could only have brand new homes, and for me I'd want to pick the home and then they help me. But yeah, that wasn't the case, and at the time it wasn't the best option for me, and I thought I should do this by myself. Like I just want to have I don't want anyone controlling what I do in the future. And I felt like it was the best move for me.
And I know you bought somewhere that needed renovating. Was that an ambition? Did you set out to do that?
Yeah, I've always had a vision of like what I want my home to look like. And I know no one's going to have that. So I knew I wanted to renovate it. I actually wanted to do way more to the home, but I couldn't because of the walls and it's tiny. But my future home, I know exactly what I want.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. And you know what, after everything, after renovating it, it's so satisfying knowing that I created this and it's exactly how I want it. So I can't complain.
Yeah. Fantastic. I think it gives you a very warm feeling every time you come home. You go, I designed that, I chose that, I picked that, I put that in, I painted. You know, it's properly your home. It's lovely.
People come, so it's good. I should be an interior designer, really.
Well, maybe that's next. Before you sort of set this ambition of buy property by the time you were 25, and therefore before you made adjustments to your lifestyle, what were you like with money? Were you a spender, a saver?
Yeah, I was awful with money. I think if anyone that knew me thought I'd be able to save, they wouldn't believe it. Because I was on every Friday, I'd go to Harrods, I'd buy food, I'd buy clothes, shoes. I never looked at prices. Because I lived with my parents, so all my salary was going on shopping. And every week, without fail, I bought clothes. So yeah, I didn't know the value of money back then, and
it was a massive departure.
Yeah,
in fact, it was a complete character turnaround.
100%. And the friends that I had, we used to go to clubs, and the drinks were £15 per drink. So I spent at least £100 on drink in that night. My lifestyle completely changed from then.
Okay. And what do you like with the value of money now?
I'm quite sensible now. And I only buy things if I'm 100% going to wear it. And I buy a lot more home stuff though. But it's good home stuff.
So more money's being spent on
my home.
Pictures and...
Yeah. But like say like my trainers, like 2 pairs of my trainers were be the price of my sofa before. And it was only until I was buying a sofa, I thought 2 of them trainers in that wardrobe can be the sofa, and now I'm struggling to pay for a sofa.
How much was the sofa?
It was over £1,000. It was just like one sofa, and I didn't realise how expensive sofas were.
Cost per wear, you see, Grace.
Yeah.
You sit in the sofa
and
you wear a couple of trainers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I was like, I really need to be more.
Okay. You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
And during that time as well, when I was saving, it was like the hardest time in my life because I just lost my mum.
Right, crikey.
So when I was saving, my mum was in hospital.
Yeah.
But that's why I say the first year I wasn't as militant with the saving because my mind was on my mum, and I just put money away. I wasn't going out, and so I was at the hospital every day. And then, yeah, when she passed, obviously I wasn't really in the mood to go out either because when something like that happens, you don't want to go out. But to be honest, when she first passed, the last thing on my mind was buying a home. I thought none of this matters, no material things matter. But then it dawned on me that I'm an only child, so I need to make sure I have some security for myself.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I need to focus.
So some very hard and dark times.
Yeah.
During
so bad. Yeah.
During what was quite a struggle anyway.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It was like an emotional time and like hard work time.
Yeah.
But in a way, I feel like it helped. Like my mum used to always say, for anything bad, turn it into something positive. So that was always in my head. So then I use all like the pain almost to get through it.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Because you knew what you were aiming for.
Yeah.
You knew what you had to do.
And it was also good for my grieving to like be busy, have a focus.
Yeah.
And like do something for myself and yeah.